Tonight, police in the town of Clay are trying to figure out why a man died after being tasered by one of their officers. The weapon was used as police responded to a domestic issue at North Star Apartments off Henry Clay Boulevard. Now, police showed up at 37-year-old Christopher Jackson's apartment a little after 9 last night. Clay police tell us Jackson came at the officer in a threatening way, and that's when the officer used his taser. Jackson was being checked over by paramedics when he went into cardiac arrest and later died at the hospital. Our Jeff Kulikowski has been following this story today. He's live now at the North Star Apartments. Jeff.
Rod, good evening. And of course, there are many questions as to whether the taser actually caused Christopher Jackson's death or if there was some other related, something else related to causing his death. Of course, that investigation has just actually started. I talked with the Clay Police Commissioner earlier on today, and he actually said that in the year and a half or so that they've actually had tasers in his department, this, as far as he knows, is the first time any of his officers have actually had to use it. Now, he says Jackson was in his apartment last night yelling and acting aggressive toward the officer who had been trying to talk to a witness. Now, Owen Honors, the police commissioner in Clay, says his officer tried to calm Jackson down and warned him before actually using the taser on him. He says from what it looked like right now, his officer followed procedure and was justified in using the taser. He says he wished it never happened, but says right now he doesn't plan to change the policy or stop using tasers.
We'll see what the investigation discloses and when it's completed. If it is an issue, we'll certainly address it and do what's necessary.
Now, Honor says the officer who's been with the department just a couple of years, he says, did go through an 8-hour training course on use of the taser. Again, they'll be reviewing everything that happened here. Now, as far as that officer, he's been placed on administrative leave, which is fairly standard procedure in a situation like this. Live in Clay, Jeff Kulikowski, News Channel 9.
Jeff, thanks very much. Now, the district attorney's office will only say it is doing its own investigation and will forward its findings on to the grand jury. And this is not the first time someone has died after being hit with the 50,000 volts from a taser. Taser International began 15 years ago in Arizona. Today, it's facing lawsuits and controversy about the deaths happening when the product is used. Police agencies are not getting rid of the weapon, though. Kelly McPherson explains why others say, though, they should.
At least 5 law enforcement agencies in our area use the taser. The death in the town of Clay is the first one in central New York associated with what's supposed to be a non-lethal weapon. But it's happened hundreds of times across the country. The American Civil Liberties Union in Syracuse released a report that from 2004 through January 2007, there were 194 deaths in the United States because of a taser. Other offices have reported more than 300 deaths. Dozens of wrongful death and personal injury lawsuits have been filed against Taser International. The company prides itself on its aggressive approach in the courtroom. Last month, it announced the 64th, 65th, and 66th case to be dismissed. They've only settled a few cases out of court, they say, because it was cheaper than paying attorney fees. The ACLU and Amnesty International both have campaigns going on right now asking that tasers be taken off the streets and out of the hands of police officers because they say it's a violation of human rights. However, on the other hand, on the website of the Taser International company, it says that all of its executives have taken the voltage themselves from their products, and each officer who uses a taser in the field has to also have gone through the pain themselves for at least 1 second during their training. Rod?
Kelly, thank you. Now, a report from the medical examiner will explain if, in fact, the taser was the reason for Jackson's death in the town of Clay. There is no word on when that report will be completed.